श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासवि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 2, verse number 36. So this is continuation of reply of Kavi to King Nimi's question about Bhagavad Dharma. And he said that Bhagavad Dharma is the means which were spoken by Bhagavan himself for attaining him, for the ignorant people of this world. And in the next verse we read that once one is having nishtha or viswas, shraddha in this, then one does not become negligent and there is no slipping or falling down from the path of bhakti. So in the commentary we also studied how Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti explained the importance of Shraddha Vishwas. Said that even just Vishwas in this path is purifying, but to speak of that if one follows. And this is very difficult to get this kind of Vishwas, and that's why this whole question of Varnashrama keeps coming up all the time. So here in Bhagavatam, not only here but earlier also it has been spoken. Actually it is Bhagavatam starts like that, Dharmo hi projita ketu Tatra Parmo Nirmat Saranam Satam. All these other dharmas are categorized as Kaitav dharma or deceptive dharmas. This Bhagavatam saying it very clearly. And then Krishna speaks very openly when he talks about, he says that he has propagated 3 paths. So Yogastraya Maya Prokta. He says, I have spoken about Shrinam Vidhitsaya for the welfare of humanity. I have spoken about 3 types of yoga which are there in Bhagavad Gita also. So Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So when he says there is no other upaya besides these 3. So he is clearly delineating that these are 3 independent separate paths. Of course, ultimately without Karma Yoga, just by Karma Yoga without any samput of bhakti in it, because God has to be involved with it, then that is not recommended in Gita or anywhere. And then ultimately in Gita, clearly Krishna says, when he says, Jnanipyapi madhodike karmibhyascha madho tasmad yogi bhavarjuna yogi namapi sarvesham madgate anantaratmana shraddhavan bhasteya mam sachame yukta tama mata. So there is yukta tama, yukta tara and yukta. All 3 are, so many times he says who is yukta. But who is yukta tama? He is a bhakta. And then his last statement, manmana bhamad bhakta madhyaji mam namaskaro. Very clearly says, become my devotee. There is no karma coming there. Sarv dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. So this is our understanding. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has absolutely in very black and white statement he has said that there is no adhikar once you have this Shraddha. But this Shraddha is, as I am saying, is not easy to gain. So that's why the question keeps on coming. So atra bhagavad dharme parvartamanasya varnashrama dharme adhikar eva nasti. Is it difficult to understand this? It's very clear, it's not a complicated Sanskrit. Atra bhagavad dharme parvartamanasya varnashram dharme adhikare eva nasti. There is no adhikar. And if you don't have adhikar, it is not going to give you any benefit. You can do it, but it's purposeless. Because without adhikar you don't get phala. You first have to have adhikar. So therefore he said, tad anusthana vicharo natra praveshittavya. He is making an injunction. Therefore do not try to bring this topic whether you have this should be done or not done. Very clearly says, tad anusthana ananusthana. So devotees should do it or not do it. He says, don't even bring it here. It's not a topic to be discussed because you don't have adhikar. And then there is Krishna himself saying it. Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyate yavata mat katha sravanadava sraddhayavan na jayate. So, very clear statement. What more you want? It is not I am making it up or I am against Varnashram. It's clearly, and the last line of this commentary, he makes it more clear. Iti bhagavad ukta bhaktya ekya esham Guru Devata Atma iti agre vakye. He's coming right here after 2 slokas that he is to be worshipped only with bhakti. Ekya bhaktya. Bhaktya iti asya ekya iti visheshana upanyasat. So bhakti has been qualified by the word eka, only one, not 2, not karma also, bhakti also. Ekya means what? One, only one. So he says karmadi mishra bhaktir nat prastuta. Iti avasiyate. Avasiyate means decided, concluded. No more debate on this, no more confusion that for decades we are talking about it. He says this is decided. He says karmadi misra bhaktir natra prastuta, not. So there are other sampradayas who have that. We have no problem with it. There's their path. But here Bhagavatam, that is why Gaudiya Vaishnavism is different from other Vaishnavism. Because Jiva Goswami made it very clear that our Praman is Bhagavatam. That's why they did not write Vedanta Sutra, Tika, Bhasya or commentary on the Upanishad. Other Sampradayas are based on those Prasthantrayi. Gaudiya Sampradaya is not based on Prasthantrayi but based on Bhagavatam, which is Nigamata Kalpatar or Galitam Phalam. If this is not acceptable, then fine, then we are outside Sampradaya, fine. Then we don't belong to any Sampradaya, we are unauthentic. But if we accept Bhagavatam and what Bhagavatam is saying, then this is what Bhagavatam is saying. And there is no mixture of karma and bhakti here. That is the meaning of dharma projita kaitu atra paramo nirmat saranam satam. That there is no, and this Brihad Bhagavatamritam which we are going to study soon, this is the topic which has been explained very authentically, step by step. What does it mean, kaitavta? What does it mean, deception, cheating? The whole idea. And why this bhakti which our acharyas have established is niskaitava, projit kaitava. So when you understand that, then this question itself does not arise about karma and all. Of course, if you are living in society, do your Sandhya Vandan, do your Agnihotra, no problem. Everybody, I am not saying, people ask me, I said yes, do it. I also recommend. We are part of society, Namkaran Samskara, Vivaha Samskara, Shraddha. I am not saying don't do it. But it is not part of bhakti. That should be made very clear. It has nothing to do with this Uttama Bhakti. We are talking about Uttama Bhakti and not any other Bhakti. That is the speciality of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. If it is not acceptable to others, fine, then don't debate with us unnecessarily. This is our path. And don't tell me that no, this is saying this and that is saying this and it is written here. I have studied from Sampradaya, I have studied from Guru authentically. People try to teach me. You better know your own Sampradaya and don't teach me. Yes, Narayanji.
Pranam Guru. Thank you, and the explanation is perfectly clear. I have no doubt about this at all. But I have just one question, that in the verse, there is often, what about people who have not developed this level of Shraddha that you have just described, the Shastriya Shraddha and stuff. Sometimes I have heard that till that Shraddha comes, you can continue to do your whatever Nitya Karma, whatever.
I am saying even if you have that Shraddha, you still continue to do it. I am not stopping you from doing it. But I am asking you one simple question. Now people get irritated. That who is a Brahmana now? All the Brahmanas are doing job. That is a Sudra. Tell me one Smriti statement which says that Brahmana can take up a job. Even in Apad Dharma, it says that Brahmana can take the Kshatriya or Vaishya maximum, but never a Sudra. Now taking up a job, paid job, that is a Sudra job. You are no more a Brahmana. You are already Avarni. You are outside Varnashrama. So if you want to follow Varnashrama, you have to have the qualification for that. You be Brahmachari, study your Shakha, Swadhyaya, at least your own Shakha you should study of the Ved Shakha. So you are not doing it. So people are doing little bit here and there, and then they say I am following Varnashrama. Come on, don't tell me that, And I am saying, okay, continue, but don't try to pontificate now to me that this Varnashrama has to be included and this has to be done, You are not following yourself. People don't follow. And then if you say, then it's an ad hominem attack. What ad hominem attack? If you teach, follow it yourself. And then teach. If you have such faith in Varnashram, then stick to it.
Babaji, in Bhagavad Sandarbha we have this section when Jiva Goswami talks about Antarmukha Shruti and Bahirmukha Shruti. He mentions that for people who don't know anything about Shastra, for them to get Shraddha on Shastra, this Putreshti Yaga is performed for Dharma, Artha, Kama, and then to inspire them for Moksha, Agnishtoma and so on is performed. And then they are brought into Bhakti. So this Shraddha that he is mentioning for Shastra there, when Putreshti and all is performed, so we should consider that it is only for the for Dharma, Artha and Kama and not for Bhakti.
That's what I'm saying, that this Shraddha and Bhakti is not easily. It is very difficult.
So this distinction exists there. Okay.
That's why he says, Tavat karmani kurvita nanirvidyate sahaja. But now to answer his question, Narayan's question that they should continue to do it, I'm saying yes, continue to do it, but do it properly. Not that you just think I'm following Varnashrama. How many people are doing Agnihotra? Simply doing Sandhya Vandan, then you think you are doing Varnashrama. Okay, that is one part of the Varnashrama. But then there are other important things. You have to do Dars Paurnamas, Somyag, Chaturmasya, these things have to be done. Dars Paurnamas you have to do. So how many people are doing that? So something you are doing and then you are attacking others who are not doing that. Most people, at least here in North India, I don't know anybody who is doing Sandhya Vandan. I have not met anybody. So what can I say? Even those who are talking that, yes, do it, are they doing it? I don't see that. So if you want to do it, understand, study. How many people have studied Smriti Shastra? But even if it is coming in your family tradition, I am not saying, do something, whatever you can do. But you should know why are you doing it? What is the purpose of it? And then don't make khichdi.
So Guru Maharaj, just one quick point. So basically, sorry to ask this again, because it's very clear to me, but I'm asking fundamentally what I want to clarify is what we are saying is in today's society, the institution of Varnashrama as our forefathers had conceived in the past, there is no basis for that.
Yeah, so somebody, Baldev Vidyabhushan wrote 200 years ago. At that time society was different. He was writing at that time society. Now if he is going to write, probably he will write differently. Because where is the Varnashram? At least in North India I don't see it. Even here in Vrindavan, pujaris are wearing jeans and doing puja. I saw it myself. We went to Lakut's village and that pujari, he was having jeans, and he's doing puja. So this is Varnashram. You don't even have the dress of Varnashram, People don't have shikha. At least in South India, people are having shikha. They put on lungi. You go to Delhi and you will not see one person wearing Indian dress. Not one person. I guarantee this. Unless he is some politician. Yeah, politicians are the only one who put on the dress. Modi will put on dhoti sometimes. But other than that, you see anywhere, you don't see one person, not one person. So what is this? We can't even put on Indian dress. So in South India, there is still something remaining. I appreciate that very much. But the situation, at least here in North India, is like that. People don't know what it means, Sandhya Vandan. Maybe in some few places like Vrindavan, Haridwar, Banaras, you will find some handful of people who may be doing something. But you go outside, even Vrindavan, go to Vraj area, there is no question of any Sandhya Vandan. People, Brahmanas don't even have thread. Forget about Kshatriya and Vaishyas having thread. Even Brahmanas don't have. Because you read the history. I was reading one book of history. Actually, it's a history about my forefathers, So they were all the time fighting. Now this Khilji is coming, now this Tughlaq is coming, now this guy is coming. What we studied in history is just a tip of the iceberg. All the time they were fighting. Because there are so many attacks happening all the time. So South India should thank these people because they kept them busy here. And their only business was converting and breaking temples. All the temples were broken down here. So therefore, when I was in my village, even the Brahmanas, there were 2 Brahmana families in my village, they didn't have a thread. They were just doing farming, but they were called Panditji. And whenever any Shraddha is done, they are invited. And they also had the ahankar that we are Brahmanas. But they are absolutely illiterate. They don't even have a thread, so you can understand. But they were called Pandit. Pandit here in North India means Brahman. So that is the situation. So that's why bhakti was propagated here. All these people, whether you take Kabir or Guru Nanak or Mirabai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramanandacharya, all these people, they propagated bhakti. And that is the only thing which protected this Hindu dharma here. Varnashrama was uprooted long ago. There is no possibility. So much sacrifice was done, Okay. So your question is clear or not? Until one has the Shraddha in Bhakti, then one should continue to do that. That's what Krishna is saying. Tavat karmani kurvita. He is giving an injunction. One should do karma until then. One should continue doing it.
Right. I very clear, and actually one more thing which also became clear is that given that none of the communities today have the foundation for this. I mean, in the Smarta community, people do the Upanayana largely as a social formality. The kids, none of the kids, the Iyer kids that I know of, none of them are actually doing it. Even the Iyengar kids. The Iyengars, they keep saying so many things, but they are kids. I know them firsthand. And I know at least 100 families. Impossible to get the kids to do this Sandhi and this and that.
I had Iyengar friends. I was vegetarian, they were eating meat. I'm telling you.
Yes. And there is a lot of, actually thank you so much for giving this explanation. Some years ago, somebody sent me a video about Nishchalananda Saraswati ji coming out and really pleading with these people to actually do Sandhya Vandanam, because he was saying that even the very foundation is not there. What will you guys, how is this going to continue? But again, without the upbringing, it's so difficult, so difficult, because the mindset is not there at all, and neither is the faith. So this verse is very timely. And this also, I think, makes the point which you made last night, is that maybe bhakti is the only means at this age. So that's another conclusion I'm drawing from this. Maybe it's,
No, that's why it says Hare Nam eva kevalam kalau nasti eva gatirannata. Bhagavatam also says Kaler dosh nidhe rajan asti he ko mahan guna kirtana deva krishna se mukt sangha param brajat. Again and again in the last verse also. Nam sankirtanam yasya sarva papa punashnam pranamo dukkha samnastam namamim harim param. Bhagavatam repeatedly saying etavaneva punsham dharma parasmrita bhakti yoge bhagavati tan nam grihanadimi. Says only this, etavan, this much only, again and again, repeatedly. So at least understand it, and then you do. You want to do karma along with it, do it. But Bhagavatam is not recommending it at all. This is very clear. There is no doubt about it. You want to misinterpret it, go ahead. But it says, Ya nastha naro rajan na pramandita karnechit. Bhavan nimilya netre na skalain na pate diya. Okay, anything else? Clear?
Babaji, you said in one of the earlier classes when you were explaining the meaning of the Sarva Dharman Parityajya, you had quoted this. आप कुछ और समझा रहे थे. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, this verse. So you were explaining that first he has to follow some dharma, only then he can make a parityag of it. It is not that someone who does not follow any dharma and then he can say ki I have done Sarva Dharman Parityaga, because first of all he is not following any dharma properly. So in the light of that statement what you made, how does one understand that?
So then he has to give up a dharma. Sarva dharman parityajya means sarva dharman also parityajya by lakshana vritti. So if he is not following dharma, he should give up all dharma. Otherwise, say, dharma I have given up, adharma I will continue. Because you are only saying about dharma. So dharman parityajya means also adharman parityajya. So what is the meaning of parityajya dharman? That means that you take shelter of him only. What is the meaning of sharana? Mam ekam sharanam. Sharanam means sharanam nivase rakshetri. Means you are my rakshaka. You are my protector. You are my shelter. And nothing else. Not dharma is my protector. Not Varnashrama dharma is my protector. This is protector. That's what it means. So it is not that you give up dharma, that now you don't do anything. But you don't depend on it that this dharma is going to take you across the ocean of the material world. It is only Krishna who will take you. That is the meaning of yanastha, becoming like this is a boat. So that's what it means. So again the same question comes that if now this is not there, even to say this lok sangrah for whom, you know. But from old point of view, when everybody is following Varnashrama, then somebody becomes a devotee, then he continues to do it. So there is no swarup tyag. But it is not depending on that. That's what it means. Sarvadharman parityajya. But I am saying that our Gaudiya Vaishnavas are saying swarup tyag also. You like it or you don't like it. That Madhavendra Puri's famous sloka, that Namo Sandhya Vandanam, Namo this, Namo that. He says, I bow down to Sandhya Vandan, I bow down to Agnihotra, this. I only worship Krishna and chant his name. That's what he's talking about Swarup Tyag. And here Vrindavan is full of this kind of poetry. If you hear the saints of the Radha Vallabh Sampradaya, right? So, व्यास भरोसे कुंवर के पैर पसारे सोए, right? So he says that we are just Kunwar means Krishna here, you know, that we just depend on him, not on any Sandhya Vandan. This Vrindavan is a special place. Here sadhus have been like that. They were not into any of this karma or varnashrama at all. All sampradaya were like that. Whether Nimbark, Radha Vallabh Sampradaya, Sakhi Sampradaya, Haridasi Sampradaya, you go and talk to them, they will laugh at you. I'm telling you, we are not that heavy. If you listen to them, they are so heavy on this. He says, ye Nikunj mein pravesh hi nahi hai tumhara. If you think about all these things, you have no entry in Nikunja. You are already disqualified. They talk about, forget about Gita and all that also. Even Bhagavatam. So that is a different thing. This is much beyond Varnashram or anything else. We are not even speaking about that. But we also have writings like this, where there is absolute nothing doing with it. Because Vedasya sarvaira hameva vedya. So Gita himself, Krishna is saying. So if he is to be known and you are already directly doing it, seva to him, then these are only upaya. Here also the word upaya is used. Evai bhagavata prokta upaya atmalabdhe. Karma yoga is only upaya. Karma yoga is not a goal. But bhakti is upaya and as well as the sadhya. Bhakti is a means and the end. Jnana yoga ends when you get the moksha. Karma yoga sarva karma akhilam partha jnani pare samapyate. So karma comes to jnana. But bhakti, there is nowhere that you give up bhakti. Whether you are a sadhaka or siddha, there is no giving up. But there are statements of giving up karma. Krishna says, jnanam mai sanyaset. Jnana also do sannyas to me, give to me. But for bhakti, in the end, in Gita itself says, Man mano bhav mad bhakta. Here also he will say, the end of last instruction, Esa buddhi matam buddhi manisha cha manishanam. So this is the buddhi, this is the wisdom of the wise, right? Intelligence of the intellect, that with this material body you attain me. Ultimate instruction to Uddhava.
Very short. How does one evaluate? Because you said that for that one has to have that level of Shraddha. If that level of Shraddha is not there, then...
So therefore better have a guru and work under the guidance of guru. As long as you think you are going to do it by your own self, this is the whole problem. People are trying to do that. It doesn't work. At least in this path of bhakti, it does not work. You have to have a guru. Guru padashraya tasmat Krishna dikshadi sikshanam. In the very beginning, Rupa Goswami says, these are statements not just out of fancy they have written, They know what they are saying. So when we are talking, discussing, these things come, but the fundamental problem is that we don't have guru. Don't have guru means not that we don't have guru, but we are not working under the gurus. So Guru Sharanagati is the first step. That is the key, that is the gateway to spiritual life. This is coming right here, after one verse. This 36 and 37 verse, this is exactly what he says. Bhaktya ekaya isham guru devtatva. These verses are just amazing. Guru devata atma. Guru is devata, guru is atma. Devata means isht, pujya. Atma means prashtha. He is the worshipable, he is the object of love. Again, Krishna also speaks the same thing. Guru Karana Dharam. Says Guru is the, what you call, captain of the boat. Labdha sudurlabham avsambhavante.
So the evaluation of our level of astha and our adhikar is given by Guru. This is what you mean to say.
Yeah, because with yourself, how will you decide? It's very difficult. Your mind will trick you. Whatever you want to do, then your mind will find a logic for that. When you don't want to do it, you will say, no, you are not qualified for this. When you want to do it, then even when you are not qualified, you will say, yes, I am qualified for it. Mind is the seat of deception. That's why this concept of Guru is very important. So this Guru in Varnashrama and Guru in Bhakti is different. But even in Varnashrama, in the Varnashrama context only, it is said that, what is that? That Navmanyat Sarvadev Maya Guru. Guru Mam Acharya Mam Vijaniyat Navmanyat Karechit Namarte Buddhya Suyat Sarvadev Maya Guru. That is actually not in the Bhakti context. This verse is spoken. It is in the Varnashram context. So even in Varnashram context, this is the situation of Acharya. But to speak of Bhakti, in Bhakti it is like he is God for you. So now where is the Shraddha like that?
Babaji, this question I asked previously on Shraddha coming on Shastra, and when he says because of performance of Putreshti and seeing its results and all it comes. So I am just trying to understand that when Shraddha is independently born without doing this kind of sacrifices, So then that is dependent on what? Then that we will say that is yadrichaya.
Yeah, it comes by grace.
Okay, so there we have to see then that again this then
Because this Shraddha is not outcome of anything.
correct.
It is not outcome of some activity or this or that.
Correct.
It is just by the grace.
So he defines Shraddhanam Shastrartha Vishwasa. So now when a bhakti guru is teaching, Bhagavat guru is teaching, then how the Shraddha is coming on Shastra, I mean, because it is easier to understand in karma and Veda.
By hearing Shastra.
Because we are able to see results, or?
Well, you see the behavior of the teacher who is teaching.
Okay, so
you
it
have
is.
doubts, you ask questions to that.
So it's like Artha Bhakti.
Because this is not something, Shraddha is not an experience. Shraddha is obviously Vishwas in something which is beyond your experience.
Correct.
So this simply comes by association and by the service. Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. In the beginning it is said there that doing seva. So listening is one seva, then you do some other seva. So this will purify your heart.
Okay. So we can still say that it is experience in the sense that we are able to see change.
Yeah, you feel it yourself.
Correct, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so but in karma it is much more like with the drishta karma we see that it is directly we get.
There also, why would you do it if you don't have some Shraddha?
Correct. No, correct.
To begin with.
Correct. So anyhow there should be some Shraddha.
So Shraddha, without Shraddha it does not begin. Shraddha mayo ayam purusha, yet Shraddha sa eva sa. So everybody is born with some Shraddha. And then your Shraddha comes because of your upbringing, you see the parents doing something. So then Shraddha comes.
Okay, so when they talk both in a karma context, when they talk, then it is just that Shraddha becoming Gadha for Shastra, and in Bhakti context it is
because there
different.
also you have to study.
Correct.
It is not without that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get Dishtaphala without understanding.
So that's why they had Brahmacharya, Brahmacharya ashram. That was the stage where he studied. They were not only doing it, they were also studying.
Correct. Okay, so this is clear. So this Shraddha is not then dependent on the Shraddha generated by karma. That is what
Tanmaji.
Babaji, I have a question about this discussion. Maybe I can ask Nikunj Nitai which Anuched is referring to, where Jiva Goswami is saying Shraddha comes from karma.
This, just a second. This Vedic sound describes Bhagavan, Bhagavat Sandarbha. I'll give you the number, just a second. Yeah, 98. In 98, I think 98.3, he will specify this. For Jyotish, Agnishtoma and Putreshti, he will specify. I mean, he'll make these two distinction of Antaranga, Shruti. Yeah, Bhagavat Sandarbha. Yeah, Bhagavat Sandarbha, 98. 98.3, yeah, Bhagavat Sandarbha.
Yeah, it's in the end where he's talking about how everything.
Yeah. Everything is only for Bhagavan.
Yeah. So all the Vedas also lead to that. Vedas makes divisions of that.
Thank you.
Sarva Samvadani also, that's the whole idea that everything is meant for him.
Oh, it's 98.2 actually. It's just continuation of 98.2.
Mohini has a question. You said as long as one has Shraddha in Bhakti, one should continue with Varnashrama. Today Varnashrama doesn't exist. So what one should do today until one has Shraddha in Bhakti? Continue to live according to present standard of the word?
What else are you going to do? So listen, study. What else will you do? There is no other choice. Yes.
Can I switch and ask something, a question about the Shruti,
Yeah.
which was from 3 classes ago? So I had, in one of the classes, I had sent a link to you about, Swamiji, about Nishchalananda Saraswati ji, basically talking about how the Swarupa of Bhagavan is built on, is basically in the Sachidananda Tattva. And I also later on went and heard some, and I think you also spoke about it in the class. And this question comes because when in Sridhar Swami's Tika, he also says a lot of very similar things. But then, when it comes to Kaivalya Moksha, in one of the in the commentaries, he very clearly says that Kaivalya Moksha is also granted by Bhagavan only, by Bhagavan Shri Krishna. He says it comes from there. So my question is basically this. Then what is really the subtle difference between how they worship Krishna and how we worship? Obviously our mode and everything is different, but aren't they also saying the same thing, or is there a subtle difference which I am not able to grasp? Because if they are saying Satchidananda, we are also saying the same thing. They are saying, and obviously Sridhar Swami was the 125th Shankaracharya of the Govardhan Peeth, and he himself has come out and said this. So I am just trying to understand how does this fit together with, and Mahaprabhu accepted him. So how are we supposed to understand this,
Yeah, so you understand that even in Advaita, it is not just one Advaita. There are a lot of divisions within Advaita. Any sampradaya which is old, which has existed for a long time, there are a lot of branches and difference of opinion. So it is not that all Advaita Acharyas or all Advaitins say like that. So among Advaitins there is one sect like Madhusudan Saraswati, Sridhar Swami, all this what you are saying now, Nishchalananda Saraswati. So some of these, they have this mixture of bhakti in their Advaitavad. So they do a lot of puja, worship, all that. And then they think like this, but their goal is moksha. So our goal is not moksha, our goal is prema. So it's not simply just Krishna is, there are many other Vaishnavas also accept Krishna as Satchidananda or Vishnu Satchidananda. All Vaishnavas accept that. But that doesn't mean that all are equal or all are thinking of same. So some want moksha, which means going to Vaikuntha, or they call it Sayujya also, where this meaning of Sayujya is different than what we say, Sayujya. And then we have our goal, which is not even moksha, any type of moksha, whether Salokya, Sarupya, Sarasti. Because Bhagavatam itself saying, Diyamanapi amapi na grinanti, vinamat sevanam jana. So we want service, we want prema. So that is the big difference.
And just to follow up on that, there is also one more thing, because that when I sent you that question with the link, you mentioned in the class, you gave the answer, and I found later on exactly statements from Nishchalananda and whatnot, not to name anybody, but they're saying the same point. But I see two distinct answers. So if you, Brahmashri Sundar Kumar, he's one of the most prominent Advaita preachers today in South India. And उसको बोलते ना भागवतम जबान नहीं आता है. Really, if you hear him, he knows most of it. Like for 8-9 days he gives, last time he did this, it ran for 200 days. Now, there, the Kanchi Madam, there it's very clear that Kaivalya Moksha, there is complete identification with Satchidananda Tattva and nothing more.
So these are the two mainstreams among Advaita. One is the Nishchalananda Saraswati thinking, and the other one is, so because Nishchalananda Saraswati is from Vrindavan basically. He was brooded here. So you cannot escape bhakti if you are in Vrindavan.
So he made one one comment which I'm really, I've heard that small snippet at least 10-20 times. He says after liberation, Jivatma remains Shesha. I thought that's completely the antithesis of what Advaitam was explained.
Who is saying this? Nishchalananda Saraswati?
Yes, he says it remains Shesha, and then he also made another comment.
That is not Advaita at all.
That is exactly why I am in such a doubt, because that same tone is there in Sridhar's commentary, Swami's commentary also. Then he made one more comment, which also I have proof, right? I'm not just saying. One more comment he has made is even more telling. He says, depending on the sankalpa that you have when you start your practice, post-liberation also, even if you are Satchidananda Tattva, whenever God incarnates, you can come as one of his parikaras. So this is like so confusing. This is Brahma Shri Shivakumar is very clear. There is only one Kaivalya Moksha, and both the South Shankaracharyas are very, very clear on that. You will never hear anything mixed at all, even though they talk of bhakti. But then this is so weird, I mean, that.
So that's why I'm saying this is one line of Advaitavad which is like that.
Okay, so even if it is deceptively close to bhakti, we have to be careful that,
Yeah, you hear him speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says that all these ISKCON people are offenders of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is very clearly saying it. He says they are very offensive to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are trying to drag him down. He is an Advaita sannyasi. And he then interprets this Cheto Darpan Marjanam verse completely in an Advaitic way. He says, what is this Cheto Darpan Marjanam? He says, the mirror is there and you clean it. And then what you see yourself. So that's what you see. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this example. He is saying that he is giving an example of Advaitvad and not of Bhakti.
Yeah, he also quoted Jiva Goswami's commentary once, where the Shishupal episode after when Narada arrives in Dwarka, how they give this example from the far. So he took that, and I heard that explanation, he completely spun it around. And he quotes Jiva Goswami's commentary there, which is so.
Yeah, he is commenting and misinterpreting.
Yeah, but from what I've heard, he's a very big Sanskrit, like Pandit kind of guy. So he's very knowledgeable.
He's a Mahascholar. He's a Mahapandit. There's no doubt about that. Okay, Tanmaji.
I wanted to return to Nikunjit's question a little bit here about the Bhagavad Sandarbha. So I looked at it and it says that people do the things like Putreshti Yag so that they get their material goals accomplished. And because of that, they get some faith in the Shastra, which is because they got that successfully, they could get the sun or whatever they wanted. And then if they go deeper, then the Shruti says that the world is flickering. Then they ask them to do Agnishtoma, so they can go to heaven instead of finding from material things. And so they create a taste for dharma. So then now they become dharmic. They try and do the yajnas and everything else. Now once they like the dharma path, by that they become purified in heart and they start thinking about the Shruti more. Then they want moksha because they realize that even though Swarga is going to end at some point. And they, at this point the Shrutis create in such person the desire for liberation, bliss of liberation. And then thereafter, just as the Buddhi and so on start to think about liberation, so they start to become attuned to Bhagavan. And there is a manifestation of Chit Shakti, Bhagavan's Chit Shakti. And as that happens, similarly, the statements can also help persons transcend these gunas, and because they have the Chit Shakti of Bhagavan in them. So this is kind of the picture there. So Shastriya Shraddha, as we discussed, comes only from a person who has that Shastriya Shraddha, it is something out of this world, it's nirguna, and no matter what we do, we cannot create it in ourselves. Parantu Satova. So that's the one concept on its one side, that Shastriya Shraddha comes from somebody outside of us, Guru, Bhakta, and devotee. And the other part is that you have explained that people who are sattvic, the people who have that Shastriya Shraddha can be of various natures. They can be sattvic, they can be rajasic, they can be tamasic, and then they can also be nirguna. Thus, are the ones that are nirguna, the jnanis, the karma yogis, the ashtanga yogis, they're sattvic. And so that their Shastriya Shraddha, although they have Shastriya Shraddha, which is nirguna in a sense, it is called sattviki because these people are, because of the nature of the person, the practitioner, which is sattvic, rajasic or tamasic, and accordingly then the fruits are going to be different. The sattvic people will not get bhakti, for example. So, these are all the complexities, so this is a complex topic. But I was just wondering, is there an inconsistency in the sense that somebody started to do Putreshti and then progresses all the way to the desire for moksha? Even that I can understand, can be in sattva, but then beyond that, isn't that this person has to get the association of a bhakta to become nirguna, or what's the... Because otherwise it becomes as if Shastriya Shraddha came on by itself through self-study and practice.
Yeah, first of all, try to understand that who is going to do Putreshti Yag and get a putra and then develop Shraddha in that. You think this is practical in modern times?
No, I'm just trying to understand.
So this is first. So therefore, it is now something which happened in the past probably, but I don't think there is anything that somebody is going to do Putreshti Yag and will get a putra now. So the idea is that even if the Shastra is also personification of Bhagavan. So you can also, if you study that, you can also get Shraddha by that. So generally, at least Jiva Goswami in Bhakti Sandarbha has done a very elaborate analysis, and he says that it comes by association of Bhakta only. Right? That's what he says. And even that Krishna is saying this here in 11th canto, it will come there also. It comes by the association of a Bhakta. But if he is giving this kind of analysis, then it's a long path. Maybe there is also possibility like that. That seems very far-fetched.
But then Babaji, the question that will come is, so even if a person does all this, then my problem is from him getting his, I don't know if heart will get purified by just liking dharma. That is what he says anyway. But then from this dharma to bhakti shraddha, this transition, there should be some...
Yeah, he has to have some association
yeah.
of somebody. This transition is not going to happen just like that. There are also various types of bhaktas, like in Bhakti Sandarbha he gives, among the Sraivites they call this type of a person as a Mahabhagavat. Among Karma Path also there are Mahabhagavat. So there are various types of devotees are there, so with their association he will get something and then have Shraddha.
Thank you, Babaji.
Jai Gurudev Babaji. So my question is quite simple. So it's just from yesterday. Also, what I asked about difference in between Krishna and Narayana, and then I was thinking about it, and then I was thinking about Parvati Devi. Also, she's married to Shiva, and then she can manifest herself as Durga. So when she is about to kill Mahishasura or some other demons. So would that be the same thing like for Krishna, that he manifests his form of Narayana when he has to kill the demons? or is it completely different thing?
Yeah, he doesn't have to manifest Narayan to kill demon, he can kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
He killed so many demons without manifesting himself as Narayana.
Okay. So, what is the purpose of Narayana then?
That is a different topic, we can't discuss this here. There's various manifestations. You have to read Bhagavatam from the beginning for that.
Okay, so this is a little bit more difficult to
Read
understand.
the 3rd chapter of Bhagavatam,
Third chapter.
1st canto.
Okay. And then I have one more question. So, if I understand properly, bhakti is meant mainly also for householders,
Why?
right? I don't know, like, because...
We just read, you're not listening to class. Konu Rajan Indriyavan Mukunda Charanambujan. He said bhakti is for anybody
yeah,
who has senses.
right,
Whether you are
but
married or not married, doesn't matter.
yeah,
He
but
even says it's even for animals. They also have senses.
no, what I meant basically, there is no need to renounce anything to come to bhakti, right?
Except that you renounce your nonsense.
Okay, so
Because he says that bhakti is for those who have sense.
mhm,
So you give up nonsense.
okay, understand. But why then many people take sannyas? What
Because
is
they are sick of having a wife.
okay? That's
It's not easy to have a wife,
okay.
right?
I don't know. I don't have a wife.
You know it.
I
Your
never
father-
had a husband. either.
Your father was happy with your mother?
Well, they managed to stay together. They
Managed.
never divorced.
If he was in India, he would have taken sannyas.
Yeah.
So you already know it. It's not that you have to get married to have this, and then give trouble to a man so that he takes sannyas.
Okay.
Okay, you can just think of your mother, your grandmother, neighbors, how
Okay.
they are.
Okay. Because I understand
Anyway,
also.
I'm joking. Sannyas they take because they want to make their life simple.
Oh,
Instead of having children, married life is a very big responsibility,
okay.
isn't it?
It is.
You have to fulfill
Yeah.
the demands of wife, children, their education, this, that. Then you have to work, so where is the time? So
Okay.
they don't want this complication. So they take sannyas.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so I think today's time is over and now we'll continue in the next summer. So make a note. We have to start from verse number 36.